So a little bit about me: I produce music videos for television. I've got countless videos with all the major channels. I've got music that's on Amazon Prime with Monica Cruz and Belen Rueda. Yep, that's our band. I've got an Instagram page that we try and grow as organically as possible. I work with all kinds of local businesses, fashion shoots, and yes, I've also done some work with some big brands. And I've done all of this just with my A7 III. Hi guys. Today I'm going to do a very quick tutorial because I felt I had to address this. Now, in the previous tutorials we've seen how to deal with specular highlights that were really annoying. We isolated them using our HDR and then we saturated them, and that stopped us from having to destroy those pixels that had no information anyway because they were clipped, they were specular, when we carried on grading. So the 8-bit images is not going to handle that very well, and that's how we dealt with that little bugger. But what happens in this case? In this case, we've got a whole bunch of specular highlights, as you can see here. They've all come out, and we want to keep them. We don't want to desaturate them, but anything that we do, we're going to notice is going to destroy them. So instead of doing some Bezier mask with a moving, tracking, none of that. Let's do it as organically as possible and let DaVinci do it for us. And we're going to do that using a qualifying key with the luminance and the saturation of this yellow. So let's go ahead and show you how we're going to do this. And we're going to do this, guys, without layer nodes and without complicating life. So this image is pretty well exposed. I'm going to get my waveform out. I'm going to call this one primaries because I'm going to deal with exposure. And because it's well exposed, the only thing I'm going to do, which I love doing, is to drop the shadows with my log wheels. Watch there, because it just creates that little bit of contrast. Lovely. And then I'm going to recover the details with the low range. I'm going to recover a bit of detail there with the hair. So I'm already happy with my primary wheel, my exposure, and now in theory it shouldn't have affected these specular highlights. These specular highlights, guys, you know where they are. This is what I'm talking about. So let's take a look and turn the nodes on and off. Let's turn this off and on. Great. As expected, we were only affecting this region with our log shadow wheels, and this region here remained intact. But watch what happens as we carry on grading. So now let's say we wanted to add a little bit of contrast and pivot. So contrast and pivot. Oops. Contrast and pivot. And now watch what happens when we add just one dot of contrast. Whoa, guys, look at this. One. It can't handle it. There's no information there and everything starts to go to hell. Oh man, that sucks. Look what happens when I do MD detail. So say I want to, let's reset this node. MD detail. Oops, down to 27. Yeah, but look what's happened, guys. Look at that. Look at the before and after. I can't do that either. So you can't do anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to qualify this. So let's get started right away because I can't do contrast and pivot. So let's delete that. And our next node, which is going to be the most important one, is called the key. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a key so that we can qualify these specular highlights and protect them from all future adjustments. So we get our qualifier out, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this guy. So make sure that your highlights are turned on, and there you go. Here they are, and let's push them a little bit further. Here they are. Oops, now that's about as far as I can go. Okay, great. And now let's find them with the saturation. It's going to be on the high end, so let's isolate those highs. And I actually want the whole darn thing, guys. I don't want it to mess with anything. So I'm sort of happy like around like this. I'm going to protect it, and now let's just clean this key real quick. Little bit of denoise, like acts like a nice blur. Clean your black. Definitely want to clean your whites. Make sure that you didn't leave any funk anywhere. And I wouldn't even touch the other ones. So now I've created this key, guys, and this key is essential. Watch what happens. Now anything that I do, let's say that now I went ahead and did my contrast. So there, put a contrast and saturation, and I'm going to carry on grading. So let's add a little bit of contrast, and of course, the minute we touch the contrast, boom, this guy goes to hell. But I'm not worried about him right now. I'm just going to worry about the face. Okay, I'm happy. And I'm not happy with the specular highlights. Doesn't matter, we're going to steal them. So let me turn the highlights off so that you can see what's going on. Look at your specular highlights, grab your alpha, drag it over, and boom, you're done. We didn't have to create layer nodes. We didn't even have to create parallel nodes. I can compare them later. Look, let's do an MD detail, and you wouldn't even know the difference. So let's do MD detail, keep it simple. The minute we did MD detail, remember guys, let's drop it. And again, we're starting to create funk. Look at the before and after. Here they are, before and after. And again, what we're going to do is grab the alpha and bring it over. And so you can carry on grading, guys, and all you have to do is bring your alpha from your key over to all your successive nodes, and you can do the 12-step grading in 12 steps that we've shown in previous tutorials with as few adjustments. And you've let DaVinci work its magic to create a fantastic key that's going to protect you, and then we've stolen the alpha in all subsequent nodes. Peace.